Hello, welcome to another episode of Час Свідоцтва. And for those who are here for the first time, Час Свідоцтва is Ukrainian for testimony time. And so this is just a time where I welcome you into my living room and we share stories of courage, resilience, and overcoming. And today I'm so excited that I have another guest from Ukraine with me, and I'm going to introduce him in just a minute. But as always, I'm going to pour some tea for us, and I'm so happy that my guest today is having tea as well. But if you want coffee, if it's warm where you're at and you want to make yourself a smoothie, whatever, but just grab yourself something to drink, and I'm gonna pour yours up a little bit there. I had already got him some. So yeah, I am thankful that you're here today, and I just want to introduce you. This is Igor Ternovi. Did I
Yes.
You can say your name again if you want to.
No, that's correct.
Oh, I said it correctly.
Yes.
Okay. So, and I usually like to say how long we've known each other. So we were kind of talking beforehand, but I think it's probably just been a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though we were both in Ukraine at the same time, working with the same organization. But I invited Igor because I have heard he has a really incredible story and testimony. So I just said, What do you want to share? What part of your life do you want to share with us today that would just be an encouragement for the audience of how God has worked in your life and stories of just overcoming, just any part of your story that you want to share with us today would be just incredible to hear.
Yeah, first of all, thank you that you invite me today to share the story with you and with your audience. And I hope this story will touch some hearts and maybe will be hope for so many people who will maybe struggle already with, or will struggle maybe, I don't know, with the some things what I have been in my life.
Yeah, and maybe before you get into your story, just if you want to share a few words just about yourself, or because your beautiful wife is here. She's not on the set, but she's with us today. So just if you wanted to share a little bit about yourself.
I grew up in Ukraine, and maybe 10 years or so I'm as a Christian right now, and I'm working with youth with the mission. But right now we live in America with my beautiful wife Joy, and and we working with youth with the mission, and so that's kind of what we are doing for the last maybe 7 years in general as working for YWAM, and sharing gospel with people and with young people and other people, and bring them into the mission, send them into the mission so they can also share the gospel with the other people who never hear gospel. So I grew up in Ukraine, as I say, and most my childhood was in the orphanage, and actually YWAM, one who came to orphanage and serving us in orphanage as we was orphan, and they they every week come a couple times a week, and we have fun, so much fun, because in orphanage it's kind of like feels like you in the prison all the time, all those rules, all those schedules, and basically you kind of isolated, and people who are outside of orphanage living, they not really receiving orphan well, and they if something happened in the city, always they will say, oh, that's orphan this, that's orphans, and kind of that. So we was so thankful that YWAM coming to orphanage, and we playing with those games, soccer and different games, and have a coffee house. It was so much fun.
So when you say YWAM, you mean there's a group of people that would come in kind of and on a regular basis spend time?
Yeah, from YWAM Kyiv, group of people. But after orphanage, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. I don't have house. I don't have anything, and so quickly, I started working for the casino. It's just casino is not legal in Ukraine. It's kind of black business. And so I started working for casino, and clubs, and like I was thinking this is freedom. Clubs and girls, discotheques, alcohol, like all those stuff, like, and I was thinking this is the freedom what we never had in orphanage. And at some point I started losing friends, and I started losing friends because I stopped control myself. I become an alcoholic, and so I stopped controlling myself. And so every day, like daily, my meal is alcohol, and then at some point I even was living as a homeless because I didn't have where to live. I live with friends, and so when I lose some friends because of alcohol, I couldn't control myself. So I have to live outside. And but then I was thinking, okay, I will just work in more, and it will help me to overcome alcohol. And so I started working really hard, like 48 hours I was working, and 24 hours in home. So like, yeah.
So you came to a place, if I understand right, that you yourself decided,
Yeah.
you recognized you were drinking too much,
Yeah.
and you wanted to overcome yourself.
Yes, and but then so I started doing that, and it's probably maybe months or two, and I got even more tired because like, so I work in 48 hours, and then I going home and just sleep and wake up and go again for 48 hours, and so that's my like every day like was like that, and so the routine. And then at some point, like maybe once, 1 or 2 months, I don't remember, I got really tired, and and so I started after work going just drink a little beer and a little alcohol, kind of relax, and so quickly I like started more even drinking alcohol. Yeah, like I stole money in casino because I wanna start my own business, and I thought I will start business and give them back this money. And so I stole this money. In that time, it was big money. In today, it's not big money, but in that time, it was really big money, especially for me. Um, and so I ran from one part of the country to another part of the country, and all this money go to alcohol. I spent everything. I come to club, and everyone free have vodka, alcohol, like everything, like so. So I spent all this money on alcohol, and then one day I wake up and I just, oh, what I did, and I was scared to go outside because casino, the people who owns casino, usually it's a black market, as I say in the beginning, and they supported by prisoners. So I know the consequences, and the consequences is not happy. They can kill you and so many other things. So and I was scared personally going outside, and so I watch in the window. Okay, is there anybody like staying? Oh, this car staying too long. Kind of, I have that fear, and then I thought, okay, I will just drink more alcohol and just not wake up. It will be like less consequences if they will catch me, and so and I just started drinking just vodka, water. I stopped eat at all, and so vodka, water, and sleep, wake up, and again, and it's every single day same, like, and then at some point, maybe a couple months later, everything inside me is hurting, like painful, and this is hurting too. So and then I like, okay, I'll just suicide, couple seconds, and no problem, and I decide to suicide. So I prepare everything what I needed, and I take like a little drink alcohol to be more brave, kind of. And so, but my uncle, he saw that, and he stopped at me, and
he saw that you were doing this, or he could just tell by
he saw that I prepare everything, and he saw that, and he like realized, and he came to me and started talking to me, and he say that there is, you're so young, there is so much life, you can change things, like there is so much encouragement from him was, and actually he just died recently in the war, super sad, but he one who stopped me doing suicide. And
can I just pause you
yes.
for a minute and just ask, so when you came to this place where you're feeling like, I want to take my own life,
Yeah.
because you have tried alcohol to stop
Yeah.
the pain, all like that was the main reason that you were feeling like there's nothing else? Or can you tell me what you were, kind of where you came to this place of all I have left is that I want to take my own life, that I want to kill myself?
Yeah. Well, there is a lot of reasons, and fear, because the people who, if they will catch me, they anyway will kill me.
I see.
There is no justice on that, because I basically go against their authority, like it's authority, and so stealing from them. And so, and it's one big, and also like I'm just tired. Like everything, like in my life, not great. I mean, I never have like something good, and so I'm just tired living like that. I lost hope.
And so then your uncle came in and he saw that he saw you actually making the preparations.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And so, but I promised him that I will not do. He stopped me. I promised that I will not do, and he went sleep, and I fell on my knees and started crying and say, God, I'm so tired. Why this is happening in my life? Why I don't have parents? Why I don't have? I mean, I have parents, but I didn't have never. Why I grew up in orphanage? Why so many why to God? And I was crying. As I cried, I remember Yaroslav Yakutin, the leader base of YWAM Ternopil. And so I contact him and say, can you help me? I'm tired living like that. And so I told him where I am. And so it was Saturday night, January 10, 2015. And he say, yeah, do you want to go church? I say, yeah. And so he contact his friend from that city where I was. And this friend called me. It was like maybe 11 p.m. already. And so he invited me to church, and next day he came because it's on his way to the church through my home. And so he came and we went to church. And since there, it's January 11, 2015, I received Jesus, and God changed my life. But what I want to say is that I try in my life many times by myself. I die strong. I can overcome. I did so many times, different ways, different tools, and it didn't work until I received Jesus Christ, and He gave me freedom from that. I want to say to people who today have some maybe going same path what I was going, and they maybe lose the hope and maybe have whatever the story, but I pray and I do have hope for you, and I do believe that Jesus Christ can make you free from alcohol and change your life as He changed me, and from the homeless, from the alcohol. Never I can even imagine that I can be living in different country, have beautiful family, and have vision and hope in life. So I just want to encourage you in that.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing this. And it is a pretty, when we start talking about things like overcoming alcohol addiction and suicide, those are really heavy topics and things that the Lord brought you through. And I guess in that, I would ask, you started out by sharing that when you were at the orphanage, that these teams would come in this journey that you were on, when you got out of the orphanage and then you started, having this freedom and pursuing this life, and really of alcohol and just this life. In that period, were there times where you were, where did you feel like God was in that, during that time? Did you ever pray to that time? Was that your first time when you got on your knees and was like, all these questions to God? What was that process kind of?
When I finished orphanage, the YWAM invited me to work for them, for their in Kyiv base there. There is a lot of work on it.
Like maintenance.
Maintenance, everything. So I help whatever they give me, and they pay me well, and I'm thankful for that. And that weekend, Kelly Hudiko, they invite me into DTS. Okay. So that's how I know Ksenia and I know other people. who did DTS, Discipleship Training School.
Okay.
So, and I did that, but after that, I always want to go to Army. So, and I started like after DTS, I'm trying to pursue that, but it didn't work out. And so I started working for casino. But also before I really received Jesus, the last 2 years, I walking inside in me kind of like a picture, like a word, like a, I don't know, kind of something like church, like church all time. And I went many times to Orthodox church because we as Ukrainian, we our background from Orthodox church. And so many times I went in Orthodox church, I put the candles, I did everything what I do, but the feeling about church never gone. But in the moment when I received Jesus Christ, that's feeling gone because I came into the church. So that's God already lead me into what I see today. He lead me already into that.
Yeah.
Well,
I
hope it makes sense.
It does, and I'm so glad that you shared that because I wanted to know that part just because many times we might have some understanding of God, but we're still making these choices or trying to do things in our own life. And so it's just incredible. And one of the things I want to point out on this is that the overcoming and resilience and courage, even courage to be able to share this story, it happens when we are weak, and it's actually God coming in and giving us the capability to overcome. And so that's what it was for you. You had this history, God was and is and was at work in your life, but then you had this time where it was really a true surrender to Him, and then it wasn't you trying to overcome anymore. It was Him giving you the strength to overcome and be in the place that you are now. And so that is very, very beautiful. So thank you so much for sharing. And I always like to end our time with a prayer, and I just think because of some of the things that you shared with about addiction and about suicide, I would like to pray specifically today. Maybe some of you listeners have had some of those same struggles, and you know the Lord, or you've had a relationship with God at some point in your life, and now you find yourself trying to figure things out on your own apart from God. And so I just want to pray, and then we will end this time. So Father, I do ask that each listener right now in hearing Igor's testimony, thank you so much for the miracle that you've done in his life of him coming to that place, and you saved his life. You used his uncle to speak into his life, and he did not take his life, but he recognized that you had a future and a hope for him. And you're continuing to work in his life, and he was able to overcome addiction of alcohol, not in his own strength, but because of you, Father, God, because you are our Father. And so I just pray for the listeners, whether they know or not, that you're at work in their life, that this testimony, that this word would be an encouragement and give strength for listeners to turn to you in whatever situation they're in. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Yeah. So as I always say, God is at work in your life, whether you know it or not. He is at work, and I just thank you so much for taking the time to spend with us here today in my living room, and I look forward to seeing you at the next episode of Czas Świadectwa. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.